Hey, welcome back to Game Hydro. We're going over the best skills in the game today, and we are going to make a tier list of pretty much every skill in the game. So you can use the tier list to figure out what skills you want to add to your repertoire. Obviously, they'll be different for every battle, but this is some of our favorites. Now, stages, we're going to pause it. Probably going to get killed right after we unpause, but so we're going to go over the skills that we've already unlocked. All right. First off, we got the lightning sprite. Now, sprites in general, I think, are an A- tier skill at base level, but there's two specific sprites that really stand out here. The laser beam sprite, and because it has the opportunity to shoot instantly from far away, and the, I believe it's called the super sprite, which fires a laser beam that tracks enemies, is absolutely S tier. And then the laser beam sprite is A- tier. That is an overpowered skill for sure. The Superbolt, though, can turn the lightning sprite that we just looked at into, I would say, A+ tier, because the Superbolt causes electric attacks to branch out and hit large crowds of enemies instead of just one enemy at a time. So Superbolt itself, it's hard to give it a tier. This is the thing with the skill list. You can't give some of these things into a tier. You can't put some of these things into a tier by themselves. But when combined with other skills, they become extremely effective. When combined with any lightning skill, the Superbolt becomes A+ tier, I would say. Maybe S-. Of course, the bolt itself, same thing. Bolt causes projectiles to shock monsters, which really doesn't do much other than slow them down. That's B tier. But combined with the Superbolt, that becomes A+ tier, I would say. The beam circle, this is the best of all of the circles that you can unlock, because the beam circle gives you 2 circling laser orbs, and laser orbs shoot lasers out periodically that have an unlimited attack range. So literally, you can just be in the corner, running around the corners of the level, let the laser orbs shoot their lasers out, and they'll do damage to literally every enemy on stage. And eventually, you'll just run out the clock and beat everybody, really. Max hit point, yeah, whatever. B. Max hit points again. Now, Meteor skills are interesting. This one, the Demon Slayer Meteor, I would give this an A on the Survivor IO type levels, where it's just big mobs in the same room. Otherwise, I would give this one a B+, because because it only fires off meteors when you kill a monster, as opposed to firing off meteors on the reg. So it's not useful at all against bosses, but it is useful against mobs. Chain meteors, this doubles any meteor skill that you have, doubles your chances of summoning a meteor. So can't really give this a tier on its own, but it automatically takes all of the other meteor skills into a higher tier. Fairy's Breath, not really giving stat boosts a tier, honestly. You just need them. Beam Strike summons a sword strike that fires lasers periodically. Now, this sword just pops out and shoots lasers like every second or so. And the lasers that it shoots, obviously, that is splash damage, which is hugely, hugely valuable in this game. So that is the list that's the first list of skills. We're gonna restart this on another boss level with another set of skills, and by the time we're done with this, we'll have gone over all skills. It may be a little bit disjointed, but we'll tell you all the best skills in the game, and you can find your complete list of skills. We got more skills now. Blitz Strike, that I would say is A tier. 5 sword strikes every 10 seconds. That does quite a bit of damage and lets you run around and do a lot of damage. Front Arrow, that is B+ tier. Can be higher because you can stack them on top of each other, shoot 3 arrows, 4 arrows, And when combined with other skills, like the homing skill, which we don't have yet, that is overpowered. Poison Circle, that's B tier, because yes, it does poison enemies and do consistent damage, but you have to get close. Meteor Pursuit, chance of casting a meteor when attacking, that is A+ tier, because that's a lot of frequent meteors that do a lot of splash damage and aim automatically at enemies. Soul of Swiftness, this is A+ tier, because really this game is all about speed, and the faster you can run, the easier it is to avoid attacks, and the faster you can attack, the more damage you do. Beam Strike. Okay, we went over that one. All right, we'll come back at you with more new skills. All right, we got more skills to rank. Venom Sprite, that's a B, I would say, because it damages single enemies, but I do like the poison effect. Diagonal Arrow, that is a B+, unless you get the tracking skill. That makes it an S tier skill, because then all of those arrows, they're very hard to aim, but they become very easy to aim when you get the tracking skill. Multi-shot, +1, doubles the damage to the enemy that you aim at. Or, excuse me, I'm going to give that an S, or A, and that goes up to S with the tracking skill. Sprite Boost, I'm giving that a B+, because if you got a lot of sprites, it's very effective. If you don't have a lot of sprites, it does nothing. Tracking Eye, this is an S tier skill. This is the S tier skill, because when combined with things like the diagonal arrow, the front arrow, etc., it causes them all to aim perfectly. And if you're using the beam weapon, or the rod, which casts a beam, it becomes an S+++++ skill, especially when combined with all those other things, because it hits every enemy at once automatically without you even having to aim. Cloud-footed, continuously unleash gush to push back and damage enemies. Movement speed up, up, up. Movement speed up is always a plus. I'm going A-. Warrior Soul, tons of attack power, no downsides. That is an A- tier. Stand Strong, standing still increases attack speed and damage. B to B+, because you're not always going to be standing still. Wind Blessing, movement speed up, size down, chance to dodge. You always want to be faster, and you always want a chance to dodge attacks. Gives you a little more room for error, B+. Weapon Enchantment, weapon detaches and auto attacks even when you're running. Attack power down, attack speed down. I'm going B to B+ on that one, because while it enables you to run around the whole time, there are those downsides of attack power and speed going down. Bomb Sprite, B+ tier, because he causes splash damage. Giant Strength, max hit points and attack up, movement speed and size down and up. That's B+, because you always want more max hit points and more attack damage, but less movement speed and bigger size can be a deterrent. Attack increase, A. Energy Ring, I'm giving this a B-, maybe a C+, because while it does increase splash damage that you can do, it also fires very slowly and moves very slowly, making it really easy for enemies to dodge. Perilous Fervor, B, because while it skyrockets your attack and your attack speed, if you're below 50% hit points, you don't generally want to get below 50% hit points, so it can be detrimental if you are really good at dodging attacks. Split Shot, projectiles can split after hitting an enemy and split into 3 different directions. I'm giving this a B+ tier, but With the tracking skill, it goes up to an S tier, because then all those split shots are guaranteed to hit their target. All right, more skills to rank. The Pursuit Strike triggers a sword strike upon defeating monsters. I'm going to give that a B because it's pretty useful, especially on the like Chapter 4 and Chapter 10. But other than that, it's kind of medium, but still good. Beam Circle. Oh, we did that. Slow Field. I don't remember if we did this, but I'm giving it an A because it has the same effect as a speed boost for yourself. It slows everybody down, and it slows down projectiles and monsters, and you want them to be slower so you can avoid attacks. Magic Strike. Sword strikes gain the main weapon element. This only really applies if you have a skill that gives your main weapon an element, so meh. B-. Charged Arrow. I'm giving this one a C-. The Charged Arrow sucks. It fires slowly. Sure, it can pierce through a lot of monsters, but it fires slowly and it moves slowly. Instant Strike, 1 sword strike per second. I'm giving that an A-. That's a lot of attacks launched. 1 strike per second, because the other one we did is 5 strikes every 10 seconds. And per 10 seconds, this is literally double the firepower. Cloud-Footed, I think we did that one. Laser Sprite, we definitely did that one, but to reiterate, that one's an A-. Invincibility Potion, B-, because it only lasts for about 2 seconds after you pick it up. Wounded Warrior greatly increases attack power for 5 seconds when damaged. Not bad. I'll give that a B, because you want to avoid damage again. Super Meteor. Meteors continuously fall, releasing large shockwaves. I'm giving that an A- because that just does a bunch of splash damage no matter whether you're running or you're sitting still. Heart of Vitality. You need hit point boosts, especially if you're making deals with the devil, so B+. Attack Up. Devil guaranteed to appear after defeating a boss. That one is pretty good if you're really good at avoiding getting hit. But the devil, when you sign a deal with the devil, you lose max hit points. So, B. Long range power, longer distance increases damage. You want to be at a long distance anyway, so I'm giving that a B+. Demon Slayer increases attack power for a period of time after killing monsters. That can be pretty useful. That's B. Toxic Meteor Potion. Pick up the potion to summon a Toxic Meteor. I'm giving that a B because you got to run and pick up the potion anyway. And I'm giving that blanket rating to all of the attack potions that require you to run and pick them up to summon an Elemental Meteor. And there's one particular skill that it's kind of the only important skill we haven't picked up in these rounds yet, which is the Vampiric Orb. I'm giving that one an A because even though you have to be close-ish to an enemy in order to do damage, you heal every time you attack an enemy with the Vampiric Orb. So that can be a good way to, if you can avoid attacks, to heal up without having to get any hearts. So that is pretty much all the important skills that we know of. Oh, and the Charge Beam, I'm giving that one a C+ because the beam can be pretty useful, but it still takes a while it's still a very slow firing weapon. The beam can just fire instantly though across the board and do significant amounts of damage. But that's all the skills that we want to go over. This is Game Hydro. Please like and subscribe if you like what we are doing and you like our Archero 2 videos.